Nebraskans will soon travel to Nebraska's favorite island for the 2025 Nebraska State Fair. And recently, the State Fair made a purchase, which we told you about last month. Our local 4's Artavius Edmonds spoke with fair officials to share an update and additional information regarding the State Fair's recent purchase.
This 15-acre pasture has been leased by Nebraska State Fair for roughly 14 years. Recently, Nebraska State Fair purchased the pasture adjacent to Fauna Park, home of Nebraska State Fair.
In 2024, we had a very unique opportunity. Somebody approached us.
The 20-acre campus and 15-acre pasture, formerly owned by Dr. Bronk, an equine veterinarian who announced his retirement in 2023, said his property, including a vet clinic, was for sale in 2024. As said before, the State Fair has utilized the pasture for over a decade for livestock check-ins, vet checks, and parking for trailers and vehicles during the State Fair and the Exorbitant Stock Show. Boyd Strobe, chairman of Nebraska State Fair Executive Board, and Jamie Parr, executive director of Nebraska State Fair, explained.
This was something that didn't just say, hey, we need to buy this. We'd been looking at adjoining real estate for a long time.
We were very interested in the pasture property, spoke with them about that, learned it was a package deal.
Sharing, Dr. Bronk noted his main goal was to sell the vet clinic.
Something that was very, very important to us, the parking, we needed to look at it as a package deal. And the board made a decision to do that we would negotiate for the package, knowing we were getting a vet clinic, residence, and arena.
The State Fair purchased the entire property for $4.25 million earlier this year.
Made it abundantly clear, I believe, to the board, but certainly to me. The parking concern is what convinced me to support the board in their decision to go forward with the procurement of the vet clinic and the house and the 15-acre pasture that we have been using for the last 14 years.
Parr expressed the purchase is a great asset for Nebraska State Fair, and they avoid losing the space for parking during their annual 2 events. However, residents of Grand Island have criticized the State Fair regarding the recent purchase, including ex-mayor of Grand Island and former board member of the State Fair, Jeremy Jensen, who I reached out for a comment. Jensen stated, the Nebraska State Fair recently received $20 million in funding for infrastructure improvements. They also get about $3 million per year from the state of Nebraska and the city of Grand Island combined. They asked a realtor to value the property they wanted to purchase, which was told to be worth $1.75 to $2 million max. They paid $4.25 million and said it was because it included a vet clinic, of which shown $100,000 of depreciating equipment on the closing documents. They are now asking for an additional $2.6 million from the city of Grand Island and are having internal discussions about how to tap into Grand Island's recently created Good Life District for the purpose of yet more funding. At this point, every additional dollar the city gives them is a dollar that doesn't go into other worthy projects in our city. It's total nonsense. End of quote. Jensen also posted on social media hinting the purchase of the property was made for Fauna Park CEO's wife, stating she's an equine veterinarian.
That property was not purchased with any individual or group in mind, purchasing the vet clinic to be resold to anybody specifically. 5
or 10 years ago, the Nebraska State Fair was not in a position to even consider being able to outright purchase property. So I want to make that clear. It was procured for $2 million less than the asking price. So there was negotiations that led us to our final ending price. Asking the city to participate in the funding the gap of projects is not helping the State Fair operations. The funds that we have asked the city to consider providing for ARPA gap is purely for ARPA projects that support the campus where the Heartland Event Center is. It's a revenue producing entity for the city of Grand Island.
Parr noted Nebraska State Fair is not a full government agency. The State Fair is a quasi-government agency. Technically, the State Fair is a non-profit 501c5 organization created by the state of Nebraska. The fair is funded through operations, the Nebraska Lottery, and the city of Grand Island, which currently comes from their food and beverage funds. The State Fair currently is selling the vet clinic only to a equine veterinarian with options to include vet clinic, residence, and arena. However, the 15-acre pasture land is not for sale. The State Fair will continue using the land during the annual 11-day fair and 4-day exorbitant stock show. Reporting in Grand Island, Jartavia Sedman, Local 4 News.